We got a whole bunch of things to talk about here today. So let's jump into it with this. Well, this weekend, it's the Oscars, my absolute second favorite day of the year, only behind Christmas. It's more important to me than my birthday. It's more important to me than anything else. Oscars Day. So we figured this would be the last opportunity for us to go through what we think will be the winners of the Oscars this year. Now, we're not going to go through every single category, but we're going to go through some of the major ones here. And then I'd be very curious to hear what you guys think about the picks. And we're going to go over to our friends over at Deadline for this. So we're going to start off with Best Animated Feature. The nominees are Flow, which has got a lot of momentum going for it, Inside Out 2, Memoirs of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot. Now, Deadline is picking Flow to win. I, however, believe this isn't just what I think should win. What I think should win is Wild Robot. But I actually do think Wild Robot is going to win. I think it's captured more of the significant animation awards. I think this is going to carry a lot. I think Wild Robot is going to take it. So that's my pick. Best animation is going to be Wild Robot. All right. We move up next to Best Original Screenplay. The nominees are going to be Anora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5, and The Substance. Deadline is picking Anora by Sean Baker, and I'm going to agree with them on this. I think there's going to be a push for The Brutalist. The screenplay on The Brutalist was fantastic. But I think Anora is going to win Best Original Screenplay. Little bit of a spoiler here. I think the Oscars are going to be a very big night for Anora. But anyway, let's move on to the next topic, or the next category, I should say. Best Adapted Screenplay. A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Nickel Boys, Sing Sing. Deadline is picking the winner to be Conclave, and once again, I'm going to agree with them. I think Conclave is going to win. I think other than Dune 2, which is, I think, not just my favorite film of the year, I think it's the best film of the last 10 years, but it's not going to win. I think other than that, I think Conclave is the best film of the year. And it was a marvelous screenplay, so I think it takes Best Adapted Screenplay. All right. Next category to go to is Best Director. The names are, I'm going to butcher a couple of these, Jacques Audiard for Emilia Perez, Sean Baker for Anora, Brady Corbett for The Brutalist, Coralie Farragut for The Substance, and James Mangold for A Complete Unknown. Deadline is picking Sean Baker for Anora to win, and I, again, am going to agree. I think the only time I've disagreed with them so far is animated, but I'm going to agree. I believe Best Director, when they call the name, man, I'm probably going to go 0 for on all of my Oscar picks, but I'm going to say Sean Baker is going to win for Anora. All right. We move on now to the category of Best Supporting Actress. This is one of the two categories this year that I think is a lock. So the nominees are Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. Deadline is picking Zoe Saldana to win. And yeah, it's pretty much been an avalanche win for Zoe Saldana across award season. So I don't think that's going to change at the Oscars. I think you're going to see Zoe Saldana, Thanos' daughter, winning Best Supporting Actress at the Academy Awards. All right. Next, Supporting Actor. This is the other absolute locked. You can take out another mortgage on your house. I'm not encouraging betting, but if you were a betting person, you could take out a second mortgage on your house and come to Vegas and lay money on this, because out of the nominees, if you're a Borisov, Kieran Culkin, Edward Norton, Guy Pearce, Jeremy Strong, Kieran Culkin is going to win this. He's practically, I think it's been an essential sweep all award season. So there's going to be no drama with this one. Kieran Culkin is going to win Best Supporting Actor. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Kickoff. Man, time flies, doesn't it? One minute you're reminiscing about your last vacation, and the next you're thinking about major life goals like buying a car, getting that dream home. But if your credit isn't where it needs to be, those goals can feel out of reach. And that's where Kickoff comes in, the #1 credit building app in the App Store that makes it easy, affordable, and stress-free to build credit fast. And that's exactly why I love Kickoff. They give you a credit line for just building credit, not for spending. Your on-time payments get reported to the 3 major credit bureaus, helping you improve your credit mix and payment history, 2 of the biggest factors in credit growth. If your credit is under 600, you could see a jump of about 28 points in your first month. No credit check, no hidden fees, no interest, just smart credit building. Building credit can happen faster than you expect with Kickoff. Don't wait. Get your first month for just $1 at getkickoff.com/Campea. That's kickoff without the C. Get 80% off at getkickoff.com/Campea. Must sign up via getkickoff.com/Campea to activate offer. Offer applies to new customers first month only, subject to approval. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions may apply. Point stat based on Equifax Vantage Score 3.0 changes for Kickoff users starting under 600 who made their first on-time payment between January of 2021 and March of 2024. Payment and credit activity outside Kickoff can have an impact on your credit. Individual results may vary. All right. Now we go up to Best Leading Actress. This is going to be, now we're getting some categories that are going to be really, really tight. There is no clear winner, I think, in any of these. So the Best Actress nominees this year are Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Garcon for Emilia Perez, Mikey Madison for Honora, Demi Moore for The Substance, Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. Everybody knows this is between Mikey Madison and Demi Moore. Deadline is picking Demi Moore to win.
Wow.
I'm saying it's going to be Mikey Madison.
Oh.
I think Mikey Madison is going to take this. I've just talked to a number of people that just so happen to be Academy voters. I mean, I've talked to about 2 or 3 of them out of the 10,000, but I really think the momentum is there. I think everybody's completely, listen, this has been a great award season for Demi Moore for The Substance and well-deserved, and she may very well win. This is going to be razor thin close, I think. But I'm going to say that Mikey Madison is going to take this. All right. Now we go on to Best Leading Actor. Again, super tight race. And I think, unlike the Best Actress category, which is right now a 2-horse race, I think this is a neck and neck and neck 3-horse race for this. The nominees are Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. All flowers and kudos to Sebastian Stan and Coleman Domingo for their performances. Absolutely fantastic. But this is a race between Adrian Brody, Timothy Chalamet, and Ralph Fiennes. It was looking like a 2-horse race until Timothy Chalamet upended everything by winning SAG.
Right.
And as Chris Carr pointed out the other day, the winner of SAG, what was it, like 5 out of the last 6 years, goes on to win at the Oscars. This is so close. I was thinking this morning I was going to say one name. I was going to say Adrian Brody a little bit earlier this morning, but I'm going to change it the last second. I'm locking it in. Final answer, Ralph Fiennes. Wins for Conclave.
Not where I thought you were going with that.
Yeah, I mean, again, the Timothy Chalamet thing, the whole argument Chris made about the history of SAG is compelling. But I think, yes, I think this is the year. I think this is the year that the greatest actor on the planet who doesn't have an Academy Award yet will have to give up that title because he's getting his Academy Award. So I'm going to go with Ralph Fiennes. All right. That leads us into the big one. There are 10 nominees. Really only 2 or 3 of them are legitimate shots. But to remind us all, the nominees for Best Picture are Honora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. Just as a side note, and I know I say this every year, but whenever we get down to this time of the year and we end up looking at all the films that have been nominated for Best Picture, it is a reminder that it was a damn good year for film. Like all of these films, except for Emilia Perez. Emilia Perez is not a good movie. I'm sorry. It's not a good movie. Anyway, but 9 out of the 10 on this list are just absolutely wonderful and remind us about why we why we love the movies. All right. So the only real, I believe, contenders here are Conclave, The Brutalist, and Anora. I think those are the only 3 really in the running.
Mhm.
Now watch the, I don't know, I'm Still Here wins Best Picture, which good for them if they do. But I mentioned a little bit earlier, I'm going to say Anora. I think Anora takes home. Now, I would love an Anora win. I would personally give it to, well, obviously Dune Part 2. After Dune Part 2, I would give it to Conclave. And after that, I would give it to Anora. But I think Anora is going to win. I think they've built up the right momentum at the right time. So my pick for Best Picture, who I think will win, is Anora. And again, if you guys haven't watched it, you should. It's a really fabulous film. You got any on there, Jonathan, that you completely disagree with my pick, that you think the Oscars, the Academy is going to go a different way?
I wouldn't say I completely disagree, but just going off Best Picture, one of the reasons why I think The Brutalist will actually get Best Screenplay is because Anora is winning Best Oscar. Now, I think you have it where Anora's winning Screenplay and winning the Best Picture, right? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think The Brutalist ends up with the original screenplay. And I think, now here's the thing. I still think it's a 3-horse race. I think Chalamet could be the, I can't even call him an upset because he's such a great actor.
And he just won SAG, so it's hard to call it an upset, right?
And it was a great performance either way. My heart wants Ray Fiennes to win because he's due, and it was a great performance. It was deserving. It's not just that he's due. It was deserving. But boy, I think we could end up with a two-time Oscar winner in Adrian Brody. So I'm kind of still leaning towards Adrian Brody for Best Performance, although I think Brutalist will get Screenplay, but not Best Picture. And I think that's about the only place where I differ from you, because even with the animated category, I loved Flow. I know it's got a lot of heat. I might actually say it's Inside Out 2.
Really?
I kind of honestly feel like that movie's a little more meaningful, like on a certain level, and it could. But
are
win.
You saying it should win, or you're saying
I think it
will win? Okay,
I think it could win. So I think it actually is something that a lot of people aren't looking at, and that Inside Out 2 could take the winner on the animated. But look, if Flow or Wild Robot win, I'm happy with that too.
Yeah. Who would you say would be the outside chance for Best Picture? Because I'm hearing Anora, Conclave. What's the outside shot for
like who's the dark horse in that?
The Brutalist. A lot of people are mentioning the Brutalist in the chat.
Well, the Brutalist is one of the top 3. Like I think Brutalist, Anora, and Conclave. I believe it's a 3-horse race. If you're asking me for who the dark horse is, I think the dark horse actually could be a complete unknown.
Yeah. That's true.
I think a complete unknown could be the dark horse in this. Yeah.
So the one that, if they announced won the award, you wouldn't have a problem with, would be a complete unknown.
Yeah, I mean, listen, to be honest, I'm other than Emilia Perez, I'm not sure I would have a problem. Okay, and The Substance.
Yeah.
I don't think Substance should win Best. I think it's great. I really enjoyed Substance. I'm all for it having a nomination. I'm completely on board with it being nominated. I don't think it's in the top sphere to win, though.
I do think,
but honestly,
yeah.
I was just going to say, other than Emilia Perez, which I don't think should even be nominated, and The Substance, which should be nominated, I don't think I would have a problem per se of any of the other 8 winning. But I think if any of the 3, Brutalist, Anora, Conclave, if any other film than those 3 gets named, I will be surprised.
Right.
I won't have a problem with it as long as it's not Emilia Perez or The Substance, but I'd be surprised.
Surprisingly, John, as you said, you didn't think The Substance was actually just just all over the chat. A lot of our chat feels the dark horse may be the substance.
It's great. I mean, it's absolutely, it's a great movie. And again, I mean, I won't complain about it, but it's the one that honestly, as a whole film, I just think I'm Still Here is just better than it. I think Nickel Boys is just a little bit better than it. I think Wicked is just a little bit better than it. Again, I believe it has a place on the nomination list. I really do. I have no problem with it being nominated because I think it's that good. But I just don't think it's on the same level as a Nora or The Brutalist or Conclave or obviously Dune Part 2 or I'm Still Here. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be now. Watch Nickel Boys is gonna is gonna win Best Picture.
I'll tell you, I would celebrate because I think it's a really important movie.
Film. It's
a great film, an important film. I'd be happy if Nickel Boys won. It didn't. Not a lot of people saw it. And then if Dune Part 2, like out of nowhere, because I get it. They didn't give the director nomination for reasons to Denis. I know we think it's going to compete basically only with Wicked on technicals, but man, if somehow this pulls out a win, I'm going to be shocked, but I'll be happy.
Oh, dude, I remember that bottle I popped out when they announced Kathleen Kennedy was leaving. I will pop that bottle.
Right.
If Dune 2 wins, I will pop that bottle, strip down to my gitch, and pour it all over my head. I will be that happy if Dune Part 2 wins. And I'll live stream.
Respectfully,
I will live stream that shit. I mean, I will.
Yeah, respectfully, Laura and I are going to rescind our invitation for the Oscar party, John, after knowing that information.
All right, guys, listen. Question is for you. What do you think about the picks? Do you agree with some of mine? Do you agree with all mine? Do you disagree with all of them? Who do you see as the front runners to win? Whatever you guys think, this is your last chance. The Oscars are on Sunday. Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.